Yo, pretty deadly Jesse, Bad Blood review, Atlanta. I might need you to do some light recon. Take Metro with you.
Metro booming?
How many fucking Metros you know? Ringside Renaissance. Let's fucking go!
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Ringside Renaissance. And we're here with a huge WWE Bad Blood review. Yeah, and I'm here with pretty deadly Jesse. Yeah, and I'm Andrew. Kombat Jones. Yeah. Bad Blood, baby. Pumped. Crazy. How you doing?
Man, you're over there shooting blanks, but yeah, I'm doing good, man. Bad Blood was,
Yeah.
I think everything that we wanted it to be and everything we wanted it not to be, all in the same vein. So
Yeah, Bad Blood was crazy. A lot of talk on the IWC about all types of stuff. Lots of controversy. Lots of finishes. Lots of blood. Yeah, everything. Boy.
And you asked us, your voices were heard. We have some questions from some of the listeners and watchers that we will answer at the end of our review. So stay tuned to the end of that for some questions from people that watch our show and some shout outs that for everybody that's supporting us.
Yeah, definitely. But Bad Blood. What an event, baby. What an event. Yeah. Not to mention that intro by Triple H and Cody Rhodes. Triple H giving Cody the business a little bit. I'm your boss. No. Oh man, it was good though. I really enjoyed the event for the most part, all through it. Honestly,
Yeah.
they had some hiccups.
This is a filler PLE. I mean, you know, everybody. I hear a lot of people online shouting out different matches not delivering, I guess, or not being what their expectations were. But this isn't SummerSlam. This isn't Survivor Series. This ain't the Rumble. This ain't WrestleMania. This is just another PLE. And at the end of the day, we're not paying $50 a pay-per-view for WWE PLEs. So
yeah, and it was
don't
bad.
watch if you don't like.
Yeah, and it was Bad Blood, and we haven't had Bad Blood in what, like 20 years or something. At least, yeah. Not to mention Atlanta, Georgia. We had everybody there. Killer Mike was ringside. Michael Cole said he was, I guess Michael Cole cool in my book now because he was hanging out with Killer Mike backstage. And I love me some Killer Mike. I fucks with some runs of jewels. So everybody was there. All the big producers, rappers, music people. WWE.
Diddy wasn't there.
Diddy wasn't there. No, he's locked away. Yeah.
He wanted to go, but
yeah, he had a different party to attend to. He wasn't at the party up in the suites. Yeah. But we had WWE Hall of Famers everywhere. Like, they put on a show. Not to mention, I don't know how you felt about it, Samantha Irvin sang the introduction.
I missed it, so I felt great about it. So we were doing a live beforehand, just talking pre-show, what we thought was going to happen, what you all thought was going to happen, and by the time I sat down and had the event on, I think that was already passed. So great job, Samantha Irvin.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I see some criticisms. First of all, I'm going to mention, like you said, they had the great intro. Cody Rhodes showed up with Metro Boomin and the Ford Taurus, ready for the event. A lot of people were saying they weren't happy with the stage, though, because it was just a standard Raw Smackdown stage. It wasn't anything elaborate or overproduced.
Yeah, we didn't have like the old school, like big drops of blood or something like that. But it seems like that's how they're going with all the stages now, for the most part.
And it's to fill more people in behind. If you had a big elaborate stage, you couldn't fill all those seats, and you saw all the people sitting behind the backdrop. So I think it was just to get more people in, probably. That stuff doesn't bother me as much as some people, but
Right.
I could see their criticism.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the entrance ramps anymore. I mean, it used to be kind of a big deal, but they did have all the pyro at least, still.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the host of the show, Naomi, Jade, Bianca, kicking it off, of course. They hosted, throughout the show, checked in from time to time. But yeah, there was a lot of criticisms, especially with the after show too, with the the post press conference stuff. We'll get into that after all the juicy stuff. But
yeah, and another big criticism that happened was the opening match was the Hell in the Cell match, and a lot of people were upset about that.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people, well, you and I thinking that match should have actually been the main event, but it was the opening match. And I started thinking about it like this. We get the match regardless. So where it is placed in the card, okay, yeah, I can understand like that's a main event level feud, rivalry, but we're getting the match regardless. So where it is placed on the card, I mean, it takes the hype away from the rest of the event, but at the same time, the match still happened. We still had a great Hell in the Cell match. And I'm talking about Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, the blow off match, if you will. Wow, what a way to kick off Bad Blood.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, you could have switched that match in the main event, but with everything that you had happen at the end, I understand why they did it, and I think it was probably better that it went on first rather than like third or in the middle or something like that. The only problem that it kind of started with like no momentum, right? But it kind of set the tone, which didn't set the tone for much more craziness, but it went all in, that's for sure. They didn't hold nothing back. Yeah.
And this match was everything we thought it would be. It wasn't going to be a 5-star classic, although I do have to say personally, I think this is in contention for match of the year.
Yep.
Just unreserved violence. It was just everything that needed to happen to have this blow off match, especially after such a big feud that's been going on the better part of a year. We had tables, we had the steps being brought in, chairs at one point, a toolbox, which I'm not too.
You didn't like the toolbox. Some people weren't. Like, I seen Bully Ray talking about it, he didn't like the toolbox. Because we seen the toolbox in the AEW cage match not too long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it wasn't overly.
I liked it. I didn't mind it because
I think
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the toolbox made sense. Like, it would be under the ring. You could see it being something that's under the ring, and it's what was inside the toolbox. That wasn't like a syringe or some random shit. You know what I'm saying? It was some wrenches, like a chain, stuff you could see used. Yeah. And everything that was in the toolbox, including the toolbox, was used.
Yeah, and I think that's where Drew got his split fucking decision up there, because when they both got some juice in the match, which was needed. This was necessary. This match needed that. It called for it. It's not like every match on the card has somebody bleeding like we see elsewhere. Just that was what was needed in this feud. But boy, oh boy, Drew really, really, really got gushed open, man.
And that wasn't like a safe Hell in a Cell either. Like the red ones we've seen in the past, like not too long ago, it seemed like this one seemed like you didn't, and they played it off so well and they sold it so well that you didn't want to get like thrown into it and dragged around it, because you would get split open. You could see the back of Drew's back, somewhat on Punk's too, that it was just brutal. So a good way to incorporate the Cell, make it different from what they've done and bring it back to the past.
Yeah, and there was one part I actually had to turn away. I had actually messaged you about it. They had brought a table in the ring, and they had broken off one of the legs of it, and Punk used it to slam down on Drew's face, but the leg of the table was like sticking down.
Yep.
And I don't know if Punk saw it or not. And when he came down, I was like, oh my God, he's going to spike Drew right in the fucking eye. I was like, oh my God. Like, I had to turn away. I said, oh boy, oh man.
Yeah, it didn't look good at one point. Yeah, and that was definitely like a freak accident that was about to happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They avoided it there.
Everything about the match, though, started off 5 stars, instant classic for sure. Like, Drew caught Punk outside early with that Claymore, too. Like, everything they were doing was just great.
Yeah, I mean, it just everything set up and it built, and it wasn't there wasn't quick falls at the beginning. They were there to like beat each other up. Like that was their goal. They weren't worried about the pins. We didn't actually start seeing pins until a little while into the match.
Right.
It was just brutality. You know, Punk got some juice early on. He hit Drew with the toolbox, and I think that's what split him open. And when Drew stood up and the blood just started pouring down, I said, oh man, he fucking got it. I said, oh boy. And
because Punk was the one originally split open. And he bled for a little bit. He was bleeding all over, but Drew, he was gushing, man. And like to see that picture afterwards with the staples in his head. Like, you think those staples are real? You think that was real?
Oh, that was definitely real. There's a whole video of it.
Them doing the staples.
Them like cleaning it and stuff. And because you had messaged me and said, you didn't like the towel. Like you were like, what the hell are they doing with the towel? But I think they were generally concerned about him. Like that was
makes sense. Yeah,
boy,
more than they thought. Yeah.
And
so, how do you think that happened? Like with the cut, like to kind of pull it back a little bit. Do you think that was planned and he just cut himself too much with it? Do you think the toolbox caught him too much on the head? Do you think it was a razor blade? He's just not used to putting it on top of the head. Like,
I think there was a spot in the match where Punk was outside the ring and Drew came out to grab him and Punk swung up with the toolbox and hit him. And I think it got a corner. I think it just,
and it was so
a hard
good
connection. It was,
it seemed like a real toolbox too. Yeah. And they were both so out of it. They both like sold it so well throughout the match. That time when like Drew was trying to pick up the steps from the outside and he was like, he was like struggling to get them inside the ring. He was going to throw it over and he was like out of it from bleeding so much. Like,
and then the tools weren't overly used. I mean, they were used like a little bit in the match, but like, I like the struggle. Like, there was a couple different times, the sharpshooter and then the Anaconda Vice.
Right.
Drew was in it and there's no rope breaks or anything. So he was struggling. He reached for the wrench and was just desperately trying to hit Punk with it to break it. I think it was well done for what it had to be. It was well done. That suplex over the top onto the outside through the table was just well done. The legs stuck up and Punk's legs wrapped right around the leg of the table. And I said, oh man, it was. They avoided disaster. And to bring it to what you had said, Drew got the steps in the ring. They were struggling over the steps in the ring. He went out and got a bag and everybody and their brother probably thought it was thumbtacks.
I did for a second. Yeah.
And at that point I said, here we fucking go with thumbtacks. I'm not a big fan of thumbtacks. I understood when Mick Foley did it back in the day, that was his thing, but now everybody uses them. And I said, oh my God, but it wasn't thumbtacks, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was, beads, baby.
Oh, man.
God damn, it was crazy. Yeah.
Combat Arts and Crafts Jones over there.
A lot of them, baby. Reminiscent of that. The same beads from the same friendship bracelets.
And we got to say at this point, shout out to Victoria for being able to kind of have her moment going and being at Bad Blood and being backstage with CM Punk and him making her a custom bracelet. She finished her story with that, and that's really great to see.
Yeah, shout out there. That was awesome. So cool. Yep.
Yeah. So Drew dumped the beads all over Punk, and that just lit a fire under his ass.
Yeah. There's a few fires that were lit throughout. Like they worked their way to different points of the match where they were both out of it, and then they both kind of came back. Like, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for saying that too, because they built the match. it
Mhm.
wasn't 100 miles an hour to start. It
Yeah.
was, obviously there was brutality as a blood feud and stuff, but they just built and built and built. It wasn't just 100 miles an hour, everything happening all at once.
You kind of got to like a certain point where you like normally it would be over, and then they kind of something like clicked in their head, and they're like, okay, I gotta go past this line now that we're not supposed to cross, And
Yes.
Corey Graves even said, he's like, I feel like we're watching something we're not supposed to be watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is uncomfortable. And Michael Cole was just great too throughout it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Punk
shout
got
out Corey Graves.
Yeah, it was great. When Punk got the toolbox, like that's when you seen like that his eyes just go freaking to a different person, turned into that monster that fights the monsters, and Drew was just psychopath the whole time. Like,
yeah. And I was gonna say the most brutal part of the match until the whole thing with Drew's head being split open was at the end. We had CM Punk struggling to get to his feet. Drew McIntyre was calling for the Claymore. Actually, there was some big pops for Drew McIntyre throughout this match. I said, man, oh man, we're getting cheers for Drew in the crowd. And
definitely.
He calls for the Claymore. He went to hit the Claymore. He missed. He landed with the small of his back right on the corner of the steps. And I said, oh, man.
Yeah, that was a hell of a bump to take. Yeah, like, ooh.
And it
Damn.
incapacitated him just enough for CM Punk to wrap a chain around his leg, pick up Drew McIntyre, hit the go to sleep, onto the knee with the chain on it. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is the winner of this blood feud.
Dump those fucking beads in his mouth, down his throat. GTS him.
And you even called it last week on our WWE review when Punk was saying it. You're going to be on your knees. You're not going to pray to God. You're not going to pray to the devil. You're going to pray to CM Punk. And they even had that spot in the match.
Yep.
We're going to
Don't pray to God, pray to me. Yeah.
Jones Stradamus over there, because
some would call it blasphemous, but I just call it good old fun.
What a beautiful match. Even at the end of the match, selling the match, CM Punk was walking out. He went to give a high five to a fan and collapsed in the aisleway. The EMTs, as they were, came out and had to administer oxygen to him.
Yeah. Shout out to MJF with the oxygen tank. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit overly, whatever. But
maybe do you think that was real or no? He was good.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. He was stumbling. He played it great like it was though. And so did Drew. And just throughout the whole match, man, for anybody to talk shit about CM Punk now and say that he can't hang, he didn't look exposed one bit. Like,
no,
he was in there with Drew the whole time, and that's props and to Drew too, because they just looked as equals. They both looked like they were in their prime. Like,
yeah, props to both these competitors, man. It was a hard fought match, and it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
Is there a couple things I would have liked or had done differently? Of course, this is wrestling. It's all subjective. But overall, to tell the finality of this story that we know of for right now,
Yeah.
There's no better way to have done it the way these two guys did it. And shout out and props to both of them for that.
Yeah. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Bad Blood, Hell in the Cell, instant 5-star classic. Match of the year, baby.
Okay, Meltzer.
Yeah. I put it up there. It's got to be one of the matches of the year, without a doubt. Obviously, a lot of people are ranking it very high, like for Hell in the Cell matches, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Like top 3, top 5, whatever you want to call it. Definitely of the last 20 years or whatever, for sure. But and then they're rating it one of the best fights and feuds in WWE history now too. Rating it up there at least,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. What I don't think is one of the best fights and feuds in WWE history. Next, we had the WWE Women's Championship match. We had Nia Jax, the champion, against the challenger Bayley.
Now it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We talk a lot of trash. I talk a lot of trash, at least about Nia Jax, and I think she exceeded my expectations of what the match was going to be, at least.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. And I think a lot of people were expecting this to be Tiffy time, cashing in the Money in the Bank. I don't think there was one person that didn't predict. Well, actually, there was somebody on our X account that said that they were just going to tease it more. So shout out to them. I don't even remember who you are. But,
right.
Yeah.
And it's smart, too. But it was just like, and I guess they got the briefcase, and that's the only briefcase left. So you got to maybe drag it out a little bit, and then it kind of still builds more between Nia and Tiffy. So if they're going to put Tiff time over, she'll be over more and probably be more of a face at that point if she's going to do it on Nia Jax.
Yeah. And this will they, won't they thing, like, I understand it. At the same time, I'm like, it's starting to play out. Like, it's like every SmackDown and every PLE now, it's like, oh, is she going to cash in now? And it's like, less is more sometimes.
Yeah, but Nia and Bayley, they definitely went for it. They had some good spots. Like, they had good chemistry in the ring, more than I thought it was going to be. Nia wasn't really exposed by Bayley that much. The end, when Bayley was up on the turnbuckle and Tiff had came out and threw the briefcase to her, like, I think they could have did that a little differently, how it ended. That was kind of but
yeah. Like you said, shout out to the competitors for going out there and performing. I think that they just had really tough shoes to fill following that Hell in the Cell match, and it's just
nothing
that's
true.
Against them. But after I watched that Hell in a Cell match, I was out of it for this match. Like you said, at one point, Tiffany Stratton came out, ran to the ring, had the briefcase, hit Bayley with it a couple times while the referee was down, which was a cool referee bump too. Like,
the
referee, the referee was down a little bit, and Bayley kicked Nia in the head, and she fell down on the referee.
She had her pinned for a 3 count too.
Yep.
With the rose stomp or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. The rosebud or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool, I thought, at this moment to have, and maybe I'm weird for saying this, but maybe a female referee in there to take because if there's a female referee in a men's match, that referee isn't going to take a bump.
Okay.
Like, a male wrestler is not going to hit a female referee and take a bump. So to have a female referee maybe in there to take a bump, now you start to plant the seeds that even though it's a female referee, something could happen of that nature. So that would have been interesting to see. But yeah, while the referee was down, Tiffany Stratton came out, hit Bayley with the briefcase.
Yep.
The briefcase fell down. The referee stood up, held the briefcase, and then we get Nia Kane sitting up. And
like the Undertaker or Kane. Yeah. It was kind of much, but it was cool, I guess. What else are you gonna do? She's found a good way to play into all the hate, because there is a lot of haters out there like us for her to kind of prove us wrong and, kind of throw it in our face. And she's performing. She's showing up when it matters.
Yeah.
She's not, freezing up like some others did. So, jeez.
Hey, shout out to Nia Jax for coming out there and performing, and shout out to all the Nia Jax fans out there that are sticking behind her with this. Our opinions are our own, but we can see that she's actually going out there and performing and trying to do her best. But like you said, at the end, Bayley was on the top rope. Tiffany threw the briefcase at her, and it distracted her enough for Nia to hit like a Samoan drop, I think, off the ropes on her, and pull her over for the Annihilator. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax is still your WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah, it's
Bombs
cool.
over
I'm kind of right.
Baghdad.
Yeah, bombs. Yeah. Bagpipes over Baghdad. You can be my lyrical fixture and my miracle whipper.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, maybe I got that
backwards. I can sing ghetto music for you. I got the whole ghetto music down. But it was good for what it was. Like I said, they accomplished what they needed to. We're gonna hold out a little longer on Tiffany Stratton cashing in. Nia walked out, and Tiffany
she had
was
to
left
explain.
behind.
Yeah, she kind of got mad at Tiff obviously. Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs. But
Yeah.
but next we had what considered, a lot of these were considered blood feuds, so I'm not going to keep saying it. The man, we won't mention his name. We had Damien Priest, our good old DP. versus Finn Balor. And
Damien Priest came out in his custom red and black DP gear. Yeah. Finn Balor came out. Yeah. Finn Balor came out with a freaking sock over his head.
Yeah.
Like he's about to rob the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And DP is a mask short of a gimp outfit. We want the gimp.
Finn Balor had the F on his under his eye. Yeah. He had a little bit of makeup on. A little bit.
The
I
transition is slow.
After he took the stocking off his head. Yeah.
Shout out to Halloween for Finn Balor wearing a mask to the ring, and maybe he wants to be a new member of the,
Oh yeah,
those people.
Ooh, yeah, maybe, you never know. Maybe he's kind of poking the bear a little bit. Yeah, they might not like that. We're the only one that can wear masks here. You got to ask our permission.
You're poking the rabbit.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said this, and I have to tend to agree. This was a Raw match. I don't think this was.
That's exactly what I thought.
For it being a big feud the way they are and building it the way they were, it just started very slow. It didn't seem like they were like so desperate to be in the ring against each other at first.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against them. They had a solid match, but I would have liked to have more of a animosity feel in the middle of this match.
And the outside interference was predictable.
Always.
Yeah. We seen it coming. Yeah.
Why don't we just put the rest of the Judgment Day in the shark cage for this one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why weren't any of them in it? Yeah. It wasn't very fun. It was cool. Damien Priest got the win, but with the interference and him getting the win, it kind of took away from it, I guess, in a way. And just like the way that it ended, it was kind of flat-ish.
Now, do you feel that it buried the Judgment Day a little bit to have all of them come out, minus Dom and Liv, obviously, but have all of them come out, interfere, and then Damien still getting the win?
Yeah, definitely. And Damien needed the win too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a weird spot to be in. And I think the one that got buried the most is probably Finn Balor in the end, right?
Mm-hmm. I could see like the Judgment Day coming out, interfering, and the referee fucking sending them to the back and then having a struggle,
Right.
But
yeah,
to have them out there, Damien Priest wipe all of them out and then take out Finn with the South of Heaven.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I think the right person won here, but I just don't think the way they went about it maybe was the right way to go about it.
I thought it was going to be a false finish right then too at the end. Like just because how like the timing of the interference and right when he hit it is just, like I said, flat a little bit. But what else were they going to do? They're doing the best they could. They were out there. They did their thing.
Yeah, I have to tend to agree with you on that one. I mean, it's just...
But it could have been on Raw. There could have been other matches on the card in that place, without a doubt.
Yeah. I.e. Xavier Woods and Jey Uso put a mid-card title on the pay-per-view, or PLE, or Gunther and Sammy.
Sammy. IC title, USA title, no LA Knight. Like, Atlanta would have popped for LA Knight.
Woo.
Atlanta fucks with LA Knight. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying, but speaking of the World Heavyweight Champion, next we had Paul Triple H Levesque come out to give a historic announcement. I don't know how historic this was.
Are you ready?
Yeah, Triple H came out, and he gets his pop, he gets his flowers, as he should. He's good at hyping a crowd. He's very into it.
Yeah.
He announces that at Crown Jewel, both the World Heavyweight and the WWE champions, both men and women, are going to face each other, and the winner of those matches become the Crown Jewel champion. And he revealed this ugly ass title belt. You need to be 9 feet tall for that to fit around your waist.
That thing is ugly. These damn Saudi events, man. They do it every time with them. They got to make some type of extra extravagant chandelier gimmick for them. Like,
yeah. And it's like, so whoever wins that's not going to carry that title belt around with them. It's just to go home and put on their mantle. But like,
yeah, it's we're going to do it once a year now. Like, what? Oh, God.
And I can see what they're doing with it because we've had champion versus champion at like a Survivor Series and stuff like that.
Or
I
a
understand
Night
that.
of Champions.
Right. But so, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so the stakes are for this title, but like, what is going to get the fans invested in this? Like,
right. And I know why they're doing it. Yeah, I know why they're doing it, right? Because you don't ever see the titles change hands over at those shows at Crown Jewel. Sometimes, but it's not
Bray
very
Wyatt
often.
Lost to Goldberg.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the Fiend and all that. Yeah, and Seth Rollins.
So
but
there are different there are different things, but I just think that there's a better way to build something for Crown Jewel to get people interested, because people have their personal feelings about it, and we're not going to touch on that.
Yep.
I'm not going to touch on that. But give me something to make me feel invested as a fan into the PLE that's coming up. I'm not invested to see what champion is going to hold this other championship and never carry it.
Yeah.
Never display it. It just...
And you're putting champion versus champion, both which are supposed to be equal, universal and world heavyweight champion, and one person is going to win it. So we're going to see who's the real champion. So the one that doesn't win doesn't mean that their belt means less. It is less important then.
Right.
Which we already know it is what it is, right? And they've been working so hard on Raw to build this world heavyweight championship up, make it feel so reputable and esteemed, give it weight. But
yeah, I think
Gunther and Cody Rhodes, that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, this missed the mark for me. And as you just said, then we had Gunther come out to the ring, and talk. And I love this. This was the best part of the segment, because he calls out Bill Goldberg after calling out Bill Goldberg to Bret Hart. And a lot of people online were saying they're teasing Goldberg and Gunther at Crown Jewel, but obviously they can't do that
because they just said the unless we're gonna get Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes.
Ooh, you think?
I don't know. I mean,
check this out: Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for that title at Crown Jewel. The Bloodline comes out and wrecks both of them, and that gets Sami on board for the Survivor Series match.
Okay, but who wins? Who wins the belt? They could give it to Sami because it's
the Bloodline. Solo takes it and starts carrying it around.
I mean, yeah, okay. Oof.
And this is the other prediction I was thinking of. Imagine if during, we'll just say the current champions as of now, if nothing changes, Nia Jax against Liv Morgan. It's heel versus heel. Imagine Tiffy time coming out, cashing in, winning both the titles and the Crown Jewel title at the same time.
Oh shit!
Well, she can only cash in on one title, right? She can't cash in on both. She can only cash in on one.
Yeah. So then who would win the Crown Jewel title?
Tiffy, I guess.
Wow, that's a mind fuck right there. God damn, Jesus. I'm spent.
Now, out of Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Tiffy time, which one would you want to mind fuck you the most?
All three.
Nia, yeah, gotcha. Kombat Jones does not discriminate here.
Whatever the four-way is with the Eiffel Tower. Whatever you call that maneuver.
God, that's Damien Priest move.
What a maneuver!
All rise for the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So that's Crown Jewel coming up. We'll touch base more on that as it comes closer. Then we had
the shots that Gunther was throwing at Goldberg was on. Like, it was perfect. Like, he built them up at the last one with Bret Hart, and he said, "No, I was just fucking with you. Fuck you, you suck. Like, and I hate you. Your son's a piece of shit too. Like, like."
You can only hope that Bill Goldberg is a better dad than he was a wrestler. Oh,
yeah. People were saying that they're also saying that they're teasing Goldberg's son too, which I don't know if that's a thing or not. But if it is, I guess we will see. But
time will tell.
What a spot! What a way to bring all these Hall of Famers and veterans in and actually use them for a little bit of something here now. That what they're doing. Very
agreed. Shout out to some of the veterans and the Hall of Famers that were there, like you said. I mean, they had Scott Steiner was there.
Oh yeah,
Diamond Dallas Page.
Bang! Yeah.
X-Pac.
X-Pac.
Mickey James.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you do something for that. Jacqueline was there.
Oh yeah.
Booker T obviously was there.
Yeah. Booker.
It was a cool little happening. So
yeah.
Then we had the women's world title match. This is the one you were most looking forward to, even more than Punk and Drew, I know. So it was the champion Liv Morgan against the challenger Rhea Ripley, and that dirty Dom was up in the shark cage with a hammerhead shark.
That dirty Dom at the same time. I had him at the same time. Yeah.
You've been listening.
Oh yeah, I was blasting it in the car the other day with the windows down. Like, everybody knows what that dirty Dom is now. Yeah. This match was alright. I didn't mind the match up until like a certain point of it, like the shark cage point with the piñata part, and then the crooked ass referee, like that son of a bitch. But and just how it started too, and like Rhea gets the mic and like, yeah, bring him up there, boys. He's afraid of heights. Like, it was unnecessary.
That you don't know. Dom is afraid of heights. This needs to go somewhere quick. We can't keep having Dom and Rhea or Liv and Rhea for fucking 6 months. Like,
no, I agree.
Shit or get off the pot, WWE, because I've lost interest in this. And I understand there's a lot of Liv fans, there's a lot of Rhea fans, and you have every right to be, but everyone has to agree that this is just kind of getting played out.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and the shark cage is just dumb, and Dom, we know why he was crouching down in there and what he was doing the whole time afterwards now because of it, but he was scared and crouching in the, get her, Liv, be careful, Liv. Yeah. Like, shut up, Dom. Like,
shout out to Dom for taking that fall too and trusting that fucking
dude, I kind of popped for that point. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna like swing over and hang and drop, but when he just fell, I said, oh,
and he's hanging by his freaking ankle. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. He definitely ain't scared of heights if he's doing that. No. So you lied, Rhea. You lied. Or he played you again.
For the right paycheck, maybe he would, but yeah, like you were saying, like they, Liv had to work Rhea's leg in this match again.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a constant. There's no way you can believably make anyone think that Liv Morgan's going to take on Rhea in the ring. Without...
Yeah, but she's been cowering from her so much, and then she kind of like gets the nerve to stand up to her now in this match. Yeah. Especially at the beginning, it's like, but it is what it is. She the champion, but
yeah. So
crooked ass ref. Crooked ass referee. Hold on.
And then we
I'm
gonna
have to go.
Cam.
Oh yeah, the referee cam throughout the night. Yeah, with the random matches. Yeah, I gotta go take care of something. Oh yeah, you go. You deserve that. You go ahead and do that. Yeah, well, I won't count you out or nothing.
Yeah.
Crooked
I'm
ass
about
ref.
to win. I'm about to win the women's world title. Then I can roll out of the ring and still do that because Dom will still be hanging.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm just gonna stop in the middle of the match and go start hitting Dom with a kendo stick. Like,
that ref is the one that should have been pancaked in the Nia match. Yeah. God damn.
And it takes the, like, I don't want to say believability, but
Mm-hmm.
So we had Rhea was outside the ring hitting Dom, hanging from the cage. Raquel Rodriguez came in and interfered. I'm going to ask about that in a second. But now you look at so if Dom wasn't hanging like that, like he was,
Mm-hmm.
how would have Raquel would have interfered to help Liv win the match? So it makes it feel very planned out, and
Yeah, of course.
you know what I mean? Because okay, so what if Rhea didn't go after Dom and just pinned Liv? Then the whole return of is it Raquel Rodriguez?
Yeah.
So that whole return would have been nothing if Liv would have just decided just to pin Liv. So
like it was anyways. Yeah.
Have it planned out like that. So now I got to ask you at the finish, because Raquel Rodriguez hit Rhea. Rhea fell into the referee. The referee walked over to the ring and put his back to the camera and like used his thing to talk backstage.
Oh, okay.
And then
yeah.
called for the bell. But Raquel Rodriguez rolled Rhea into the ring, covered Liv over top of Rhea after the bell had already been rang.
Yeah, gave her a finisher or whatever it's called, and then put Liv on top of her, then realized that they weren't going to count, then pulled her off, then tried to pick her up and haul her off somewhere else.
So what I was thinking was, if you watch in the match, when Raquel Rodriguez attacks Rhea falls into the referee, and the referee turns around like, what's going on, and sees what's happening. And then it was a botched finish. I think it was a botched finish, because I think what was supposed to happen was Raquel was supposed to attack Rhea, roll her in the ring, put Liv on top. The referee didn't see anything, comes in 1, 2, 3, and Liv wins the match. But because he got tangled up in the scuffle outside, he had no choice but to ring the bell for a disqualification.
And she didn't know what the hell was going on. She just went along with the plan of what was originally supposed to happen. Yeah.
That's what I think happened. I don't know how you feel.
That makes sense. Yeah, because if the ref was on his headset and they were talking to him, they probably told him that, called an audible, and Raquel didn't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah. And she didn't get like no pop at all. She didn't know what the hell to do. She looked like a deer in the headlights. I mean, guess I feel sorry for her a little bit, but at the same time, you got to adapt and go on. Like, you making your debut, like you're back, like you're supposed to be meaningful in this match. People have been talking about you. You had a buzz that you might show up because you've kind of you have a history of both of these women, and you just kind of stand there and I don't even care what happens from now on with it, because it's just like what happened with the match at the end with like the botch. Like, I don't like the story now. It's just like, like, what are you gonna do? Like,
she feels like she's gonna be part of the Pure Fusion Collective in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe Dom could instead of being a 2-timer, he could be a 3-timer. He could go with Raquel now.
3 at the same time.
Yeah, you have to make a new song.
A new song.
Yeah.
Okay, he's feeding families now. Okay, I can appreciate
the
this.
remix.
But
you should hit up Chronic for the remix too. Just saying. I might got something for you. Yeah.
Might put a verse in there. You already got one written out, don't you?
I could. I mean, it wouldn't take long. Let's face it.
So Rhea wins the match via disqualification, but Liv retains the title because of the disqualification. Like I said, I don't think that's how it was supposed to turn out, but things happen. Then we get the main event of the night.
Yeah.
The long-awaited in-ring return for Roman Reigns. First match since WrestleMania.
Yep.
We had Roman Reigns and the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes against the Bloodlines, Jacob Fatu and the Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. Well, and first coming out, like, we had the marching band out there, and I didn't know I thought they were playing Roman Reigns song at first. Like, I couldn't tell. But I gotta give respect to the marching band, because they went viral, at their college or high school or whatever it was from. It went viral, and people noticed them, that they were playing the song at like their pep rally or at the football games or whatever it was. And that kind of got them the spot. And backstage, Cody was going off. He was taking pictures with the cheerleaders, like, the women love Cody Rhodes, and they were going crazy for him. And he brought in the band. He was getting them hyped backstage. So respect to him for that, and bringing them in, because that's really cool. And they hit the No, you don't, Cody Rhodes. You ain't coming out last.
Mm.
No. It's your hometown, but no. You the champion, but no.
But I think WWE knows what time it is. They know what
Yeah.
people were there to see at the end of the day. Roman Reigns, and shout out to that marching band, like you said. But boy, oh boy, were they off key tonight.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I thought it was Roman Reigns music for a little bit until I heard the and I said, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out with that. If only I had a mask to wear to.
That mask. Yeah, oh, Jesus. I wasn't a fan of it this time.
I wasn't a fan of it any time.
And so it would have been interesting to see Roman come out first, right? And see the look on his face for Cody coming out first. But to have Cody come out first and have to sit out there, and he had his whole extravagant entrance, and then Roman Reigns gets his own extravagant entrance, and watch the look on Cody's face, like, where's all the Cody crybabies? Because they gotta be out there now, because he had to be feeling real bitter at his hometown being the champion.
He was probably thinking in his head, what this? Roman gift drummers? I didn't get any drummers. Does he think in this? Like when he's thinking in his head, does he think
like
in
his
lisp?
Inside voice? Yeah, like his
Interesting.
Yeah, he should do like the narration for
But yeah, we got Roman Reigns coming out, the tribal chief, the original tribal chief, the only tribal chief. And man. And shout out to Roman Reigns here, because his whole tribal chief gimmick has been heel this whole time. And this is his first time really coming back for a match as a babyface, and he played the babyface so well in this instance.
Yeah, I agree, because it's the first time coming out to really this music and all of this and in a match. Yeah. He looked good too. He looked good.
And before he used to look at the hard cam and do the one up, but he turned and looked at the fans and did it. And
that's true. Yeah.
Just little things like that. Him turning around and like hyping the crowd up and talking to the crowd, and
him and Cody too at the beginning, like face to face, like they were having a long conversation. Yeah.
They were crossing swords.
Yeah, they were having a long conversation. Who gets to go first and who gets the sloppy seconds?
Just clean up before I go in.
And Cody's like, Cody had to go first.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But they were teasing Roman coming in the ring, and then when him and Solo were fighting a little bit, and everybody was chanting for Roman, and Cody looked over and was like, "Do you want to get in the thing?" And Roman just threw his hand out like, all right, here we go.
Just do it.
So good.
Just do it.
Yeah, the match for what it was, I don't think was a 5-star classic, but I don't think it had to be. I think they were kind of just telling the power struggle a little bit. Cody and Roman really didn't have any like scuffles during the match. There really wasn't much of them like arguing or disagreeing with what they were doing. They were pretty much on the same page for the whole match. I would have liked to see a little bit more of them having disagreements, or when they were bumping into Roman on accident or something.
That's true. Yeah. They were beating the shit out of Cody. Cody got, they both got the business. All of them got it, but Cody was really getting the business, and Roman was starting to get a little annoyed that Cody couldn't get over to him and get the tag. That's for sure. And as soon as he finally gets over to him, the cameraman was on all night for the Punk and Drew match too, because you didn't see anything with like why they were bleeding or whatever. The camera was great all night. Cameraman was great all night. But as soon as he goes to tag Roman that one time, camera's perfect. You see a tag about to happen. Roman comes right down, eats a super kick from Jacob Fatu. No tag.
And like you were saying with the cameraman, like I saw Roman come down, but I didn't see Jacob's one that pulled him. I thought Roman just jumped down.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, what's this? I thought maybe Roman was turning on Cody there.
Right.
Oh, well done.
But they did their job. They put on a good match. They did a good tag team match with like their hot tags and like building it up to finally get like Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we did get an appearance from our favorite Tonga twins.
Yeah.
Coming out and oh man, they're getting better every week. There's something about those two that I'm trying not to buy in on them. But I don't know.
The latter match was good on SmackDown when they came out and they're grabbing Tonga Loa grabbed the whole thing instead of the belts. He just grabbed the whole.
Yeah, it was good.
The whole bar. Yeah.
But they came out and started to get involved, and then Cody ended up putting Jacob Fatu on the table and climbed up to the top rope, which I thought, he just saluted Roman you're on your own, pal, and fucking, and shout out to Cody for taking that bump too. That was out of his wheelhouse of things he normally does, or probably out of his comfort zone.
Definitely.
But he really made it look believable.
And Jacob Fatu did it to both of them pretty much through the table. Yeah. They put them through multiple tables, so it's good payback. So it made sense with their story too.
Right. And then we had Roman and Solo in the ring, the Tonga twins outside the ring, and I didn't even see him come in, but we had this guy in a hoodie and a bandana over his face standing in between the Tonga twins.
He was under the ring the whole time. Came out from under the ring.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I didn't see that.
Yeah, me neither. I saw it afterwards in the fan videos, but yeah.
And for a quick second, it almost made me think, which shout out to them, was is this a new member of the new bloodline?
Yeah.
Who is this exactly? It was very well done the way they did it.
Yep.
Of course it wasn't. We get a super kick on Tama Tonga. We get a super kick on Tonga Loa. The hoodie comes off. The bandana comes down. We do have the returning Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso! Yeah. Is he still...
With the shirt?
No, Yeah.
Did you see the shirt?
Yeah.
They are not the ones.
They not the ones.
Yeah,
You're not the ones. They not like us. They not like us.
But yeah, so that was enough of a distraction for Roman Reigns to get the spear on Solo Sikoa.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes win this match that you and I probably were both very surprised about.
Yeah. It makes sense. It made sense though afterwards, with Jimmy and how it played out, and then what they did after that too. Yeah.
And Jimmy crawled in the ring. This was probably, besides the Hell in the Cell match, was my favorite part of the night.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even in the match.
Yep.
Jimmy just sitting there talking to Roman, and Roman almost confused, what are you doing here? And Jimmy was just like, I got you, bro. I got you. And they've played this up that Roman doesn't have anybody. Roman's solo on, no pun intended, but Roman's on his own. He's doing his own thing. His family abandoned him because of all the bullshit in the past. And for Jimmy to have that moment of solidarity with Roman, and for Roman to embrace Jimmy and hug him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big moment. Big pop for the crowd. It was cool.
And the facial expressions while he was hugging him, the sense of relief, oh my God, I still have somebody, and
yeah.
Wow.
Jimmy looked
really
good too, with the crazy eyes too. When he took the hoodie off and everything throughout it. Yeah, you didn't want to fuck with Jimmy. He's back for blood.
Now everybody's saying Jimmy Uso for United States champion. Let's pump the brakes a little bit here. But
come on, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Come on.
So, so then Cody rolls back in the ring, and Jimmy's standing there asking Roman kind of what's going on, and Roman just kind of nods to him, and they take off.
I thought they were going to beat the shit out of Cody for a second right then.
Yeah, there was a few times that was teased,
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So then Roman and Jimmy are walking out, and the Bloodline 2.0 jumps Cody and starts beating him up, and Jimmy's just asking Roman, what do we do? I'm with you either way.
I was like, they about to walk off. I was like, oh shit, Roman about to say, oh, that ain't my problem no more.
Right. But huge baby face move for Roman. He says, screw it. They run back in the ring. They clean house. He picks up the title and hands it to Cody as a sign of respect. That moment there was the full Roman Reigns baby face turn there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He hands Cody the title and finally acknowledges Cody as the champion here. This is your title. And I thought that was the end of Bad Blood. I actually got up and started to walk away from the TV for a second, but that wasn't the end.
No, it wasn't. It damn sure wasn't. Because we were in store for the something special. If you smell what The Rock is cooking,
The final boss.
the final boss is
I don't
here.
fuck around.
I don't fuck around. Cody
really
Rhodes.
I thought you had Rock's music lined up. I was waiting for it.
I wish. Yeah, next time. Maybe next time. We're going to get it. We're going to get it.
We'll get it.
We'll get it.
But yeah, The Rock comes out to a huge pop from the crowd.
Yeah. For Cody Rhodes.
And The Rock just stands in the aisleway and he points it. Counts 1, 2, 3. Cuts the throat. And he's out, which leads a lot of people to speculate, like, what is this exactly going to be? Is it going to be a triple threat match now? Is he saying, like, Jimmy, Roman, Cody, hey, the three of you, you're done?
Yeah.
Is it the 1, 2, 3 because Rock pinned Cody at WrestleMania?
Who knows?
Boy.
Yeah. I mean, all of the above. And it left a lot of questions. He just kind of did that and walked off. He came out with his belt. Which is good heel move for The Rock. You know, because we didn't see it then, but we saw it afterwards. He cut a little promo and he was walking backstage. You're a Rock fan? You a fan of The Rock? Of course you are. Yeah, yeah. It's a nice watch. I'd introduce you to my sister if I had one. Yeah.
When he saw
was
Dusty
hilarious.
Rhodes on the truck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He saw John Cena. He said, eat your Fruit Loops. Eat your Fruity Pebbles. Eat your Fruity Pebbles.
He saw Dusty Rhodes. You're a legend. Your son's a piece of trash. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Apparently
one.
that's the
Okay.
Rock's music. Yeah.
Okay.
He had it blaring in the truck.
ZZ
Rock
Top
drives
looking for
himself.
some tush.
I hate limousine drivers. I hate limousines. I drive myself. Final boss drives himself in his big truck. Dually exhaust.
So that was the end of Bad Blood, or was it? It was the end of the showing of Bad Blood. We had some backstage drama with The Rock heading up, but that wasn't the only backstage drama we saw on this night, huh?
No, it wasn't. It was not. The fans picked up on it. The fans were watching. It's almost like it was meant to happen. Cody got another beat down. Again, Cody definitely had a rough night. I'll say that. Very rough night for his ego and his body, all in that. But Kevin Owens met with Cody Rhodes. A little bit of heated discussion took place, turned into an argument, and Kevin Owens yoked up Cody Rhodes and knocked his ass out and stomped him out and gave him a beat down in the parking lot in Atlanta.
It was good too. It looked like a real beat down too.
Real fight, real argument. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that this needed to happen. Next is Randy Orton, but for Cody to feel like he doesn't have anybody that has his back and to need to turn to Roman and his bloodline going forward, I think this is something that needs to happen.
Right.
Really great shout out to social media for all these people recording it and putting it on the internet, and wow, adding some believability, because it wasn't WWE cameras that caught this beatdown of Cody Rhodes by Kevin Owens. It was fan phone cameras recording it and putting it all over the internet.
Yeah.
Well done.
Smart.
Very well done.
Yeah. Yep.
So Bad Blood leaves us with a lot of questions at the end. I mean, why did Kevin Owens jump Cody? Is Roman really siding with Cody now? What's next for Bloodline 2.0? What's next for Rhea and Liv?
Yep.
What's next for CM Punk? You know?
Yeah.
So they're all some questions that follow us after Bad Blood, but we have some questions as well. And from our Renaissance riders, as they were. We put out a tweet this morning and asked to ask us some questions, some comments, what you felt about Bad Blood, what you wanted to ask us about Bad Blood. So we're going to answer some of those. And what do we got? We got some questions for you. So the first one is from, I'm going to butcher these names and these @ handles. I'm really sorry, but we're with you. So this is from Sarah Rishti. It's at Dragonflight126.
Okay.
And she said, they said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get into all that, but CM Punk and Drew McIntyre really went all out. A truly incredible, brutal Hell in a Cell match to start the evening. Not a question, but we fully agree with you.
Hell yeah. Loved it. Match of the night. Match of the year. Rivalry of the year. Feud of the year. All of the above.
Agreed on all of the above. Thank you for riding along with us, and thank you for your comment.
Shout out.
Now
Sarah.
we got Pro Wrestling Bites at PW Bites on X, and thank you for all the support you've showed us over the time. Pretty much been with us since day one. Said that thought the event was pretty meh besides the opener. Not sure if it going on first contributed to that or what. Thoughts on if the Hell in a Cell opening the show hurt the rest of the matches throughout the night?
I mean, it set the bar very high. That's for sure. I thought the main event lived up to the hype for what it was, though, too. And with the return of The Rock and Jimmy, it did what it had to do. But I think a lot of the matches in between, they were kind of dull compared to those, for sure. Yeah. And like the way that the Hell in the Cell was first, like by the time we got to like third, fourth, fifth, the main event match, it almost felt like the Hell in the Cell match was like happened like a day before. Like I'd almost already forgot about it in a way, because it was just so far away that they put it on first. It was weird.
And I agree, and I feel like it kind of took the wind out of the sails of a lot of people in the crowd.
Yeah, they were spent.
Like you said, there's a lot to live up to after that Hell in the Cell match. It was a questionable choice, but at the end of the day, it didn't take away from the actual Hell in a Cell match. It probably hurt the other matches, but I don't think it took away from the Hell in a Cell match.
And if you got to have a match during that pay-per-view when that match happened with Hell in the Cell, regardless of how your match went, you can't be mad at it because you're on the same pay-per-view as a CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre conclusion. So
it probably would have helped the crowd for the other matches to have the Hell in a Cell on later.
Yeah.
But I just don't think any of the other matches, unless you're a diehard Liv fan or Rhea fan or anything like that, were going to live up to it. I think there wasn't a chance of that. So shout out Pro Wrestling Bites.
Yeah. What were they going to do? Even if the finishes and everything would have went perfectly and how everybody wanted, I mean, it would have still,
Yeah. But next is the real one. Real as in REEL. The real one.
Okay.
At _city asked us, or said, it really surpassed my expectations for sure. My favorite match was the main event, and aside from The Rock making his presence, the reunion of Roman and Jimmy was really special.
Hell yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was awesome. I like that was your favorite match too.
Yes,
I respect it. Yeah.
And surpassing expectations isn't out of the realm of possibility to say, because I really didn't have high expectations for the other three matches on the card. Maybe I was a little bit underwhelmed that Tiffany Stratton didn't cash in.
That would have kind of like put another good arc in throughout the night, like in the middle, Yeah, for sure, for the matches. But that's cool that was your favorite match. I respect it. And like going into it, we're like, oh, if they put that on at the end and it's only Jimmy that comes out, and that's like the conclusion, like a big reveal. But in the end, we weren't. It surpassed our expectations of how they did it with Jimmy, and then of course with The Rock. So there was no Brock Lesnar either. For all the people that said they saw Brock Lesnar and he was in Atlanta, and somebody, I don't know who it was. I respect it anyway, but they're like, they seen somebody. They said somebody walked in with Brock Lesnar, like at the arena, like they saw it. Like, you've seen it. I want to see the video now because you said it. Like, come on.
Yeah, put up or shut up at that point. Don't say you saw it and then not fucking provide it. I'm tired of these fake ass. My sources say.
Yeah. Breaking WWE news. Brock Lesnar is in Atlanta.
People on X that fucking just read a report from Wrestling Observer newsletter than say my sources. Well, it's everybody's sources because everybody can fucking access that. I'm fucking tired of that shit.
Like we said in the pre-show thing, Brock Lesnar is not coming back until all the allegations and all that is cleared up. They're not going to risk him coming back until it's cleared up and that he's completely innocent or he's not coming back at all.
Agreed.
Not happening. Yep.
So thank you, the real one, for that one. This one is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Darby Allin's 9th life at Taylor's Karma, but Karma with 2 A's at the end. It says late waking up, crying face, crying face. You're later than us. How do you?
I feel the same.
How do you think this pay-per-view matches up to Bash in Berlin, SummerSlam, or as a whole?
Oh, as a whole, Bash in Berlin.
I think it was better than Bash in Berlin.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I think SummerSlam was better, like all together, probably with like all the matches, but the Hell in the Cell and the main event, like that's my match of the year is the Hell in the Cell. So I thought it was better than any match on SummerSlam.
Yeah, because Bash in Berlin was the I Quit match with AJ and Cody, and then the Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre match. So
true. Yeah.
The 2 main events for this, Punk and Drew, and then the Bloodline and Cody and Roman, I think those surpass Bash in Berlin. But SummerSlam's one of the big 4. It's hard to surpass that with everything that goes on with it.
And talk about ranking stuff. I mean, we're in October. We got till December, but I think we need to do a little episode where we rank our favorite feuds, favorite spots, favorite matches, moments of the year episode.
Ooh.
Before the year is done. I think we should do that. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, there won't be a lot of AEW on that. So thanks, Darby Allin's 9th life. And thanks for a long ass name for me to try to say. Next, Rick Elsey at Elsey Rick said, love the podcast. Why, thank you. We love
Thank you. We love you. We love that you love it.
We love that you love that we love that you love that we love DP. So it says, love the podcast. Bad Blood was a great event in my opinion. WWE under Triple H has been hitting a creative stride the past year that hasn't been felt in almost a decade.
I agree.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that.
Ever since Triple H's came, pause or no pause, he's made me want to watch.
You want to watch Triple H came?
Yeah. Spit the water, baby. Yeah.
I wonder if
ever since he's been control of creative and really been in the driver's seat, and the man that will not be named, Mr. McMahon, left. It's been great, and I've went wanting to watch, and it's been must-see TV for me. So, totally agree.
Yeah, I agree too, and I think that there obviously is some flubs or screw ups and shit happens, and I respect Triple H taking case in point when Gunther beat Randy Orton at King of the Ring. And the shoulder wasn't down. I love and appreciate that Triple H takes things like that and doesn't just sweep it under the rug. He addresses it and kind of weaves it into a story down the line. I think that's really needed in pro wrestling instead of just, oh, well, what happens. But thanks, Rick Elsey. We love you too. I'm glad you love the podcast. Next is Alexis at Gigi Dolan Toxic 4.
Oh, Lord.
Sounds like you play Xbox with that name.
Gigi Dolan, baby.
Yes, Gigi Dolan. Shout out. And it just says the Triple H segment wasn't needed.
Oh, the one at the end or the one at
the crown jewel? The crown jewel.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't needed. I agree. I loved the Gunther part. It was a reason to have him come out with the Goldberg part. I guess they kind of needed that to happen to have that to happen. But
yeah, I guess
the belt fucking sucks. I don't care about the damn crown jewel show. I'm gonna watch it, but it's like my least favorite pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't the Triple H segment would have been needed if it would have been more of a groundbreaking announcement. I think it just wasn't that great of an announcement. It took away from it. But we didn't even touch on Sammy jumping Gunther outside the ring too, which is not something Sammy does. Really interesting leading up to it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alexis. That was a quick and easy one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Nishi Emmanuel at Nishi has landed.
Okay.
Oh man, he's involved a lot with us. Thanks, I appreciate that. I see his name an awful lot. It said, "I love the show. The finish of Liv versus Rhea match was underwhelming, although the match was good until Rhea was granted permission by the ref to leave the ring.
Agreed.
A good lesson to start focusing on gold than on Bully in the X." Punk versus Drew was match of the year. I think this is your new best friend, Kombat Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I said the same exact thing. Shout out to you. You right.
Yeah.
You right.
Yeah.
You right.
The whole spot was kind of dumb. You don't want to make your baby face look like an idiot, and it made Rhea look like an idiot, not focusing on the.
Made all of them look like idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Liv doesn't need any help with that, but
yeah. At least she retained the title. Yeah. She's still the champion.
Shout out Nishi. Thank you for that. So this one is Luna at Luna_Bella May.
Okay.
MAE.
Okay.
Shout out to Luna. Is WWE going to copy AEW for Liv Morgan and Raquel? It is Mercedes Monet's gimmick first, a champ with a bodyguard. I am a WWE fan, but I like that Mercedes with the bodyguard is more focused on the championship than a man.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Jeez. That ain't the first wrestler to have a bodyguard. Like,
yeah. I mean, we had Shawn Michaels with Diesel. That's how Diesel got brought into the WWF back in the day.
There's been a lot of bodyguards from people.
I guess currently I can understand what you're saying, but
kind of looks the same. It does, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go the exact same route. I don't think it's her bodyguard. I think it's gonna be more of like
a partnership, maybe.
Yeah, because they were partners. Yeah, and then she had problems with Rhea too. So I think it's gonna turn into more of a 3-way or something.
Let's go Dirty Dom. Yeah. Shout out Luna for that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's necessarily like a bodyguard type role. I think it's going to be more of Raquel just wanting revenge and teaming up with Liv.
Because they have history. Yeah. It's a little different from the Mercedes Moné thing, but I see where you draw the comparison.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
and I don't think, like you said, it was brought in under different means. Like Mercedes just brought Camille in just to be the imposing bodyguard and not with a personal issue. So,
right.
Okay, so we have, last but not least here, Wrestle_Rant 13 at Wrestle_Rant 13. Thank you for making that one easy for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, and thanks for being so interactive with us lately. Do you think Jimmy's long-awaited return was overshadowed by Rock, and they shouldn't be returning on the same night? Ooh.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one, yeah.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was like icing on the cake because you bring Jimmy in, and then you kind of like one-up it with The Rock, and it leaves more questions because Rock did the 1, 2, 3 thing, and there's three of them. Like, I think it's good. I like it. And it was on a PLE. It wasn't just like you bring him in on a Raw or you bring The Rock in on a Raw or I'm sorry, a SmackDown. So, yeah. I liked it. I don't think it was too much.
I think it wasn't okay. So Jimmy Uso is Jimmy Uso at the end of the day. Like, I'm not trying to say it to take anything away from Jimmy Uso, but he's not a star on the level like The Rock. It's not like Stone Cold and The Rock returning on the same night.
Yeah. Jimmy came out during the match, and then the match ended, and then The Rock comes out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of they kind of split it up too, because one was during the match, and then the other one's technically when it's off the air, right? Going off the air.
Yeah. So, and the thing with me too is I think that it was almost like um, I think it was almost like a smoke and mirrors thing having Jimmy return,
Mm-hmm.
because at that point, I don't think maybe people were anticipating The Rock.
That's true. Yeah.
The
And
way Jimmy Uso returned, I don't think anybody had, like, maybe it slipped people's minds. Jimmy's here, and The Rock kind of slipped their minds until the music hit.
yeah, because you had got the pop from Roman and Jimmy hugging, and then they go out and then they come back and they save Cody, and everybody thought it was over. And then cue The Rock. Yeah. And I don't think it took away from Jimmy also, because like all the Jimmy and all the Jay and all the Uso fans out there, they were going crazy. They're still going crazy. They're still happy about it. Then all the Rock people are happy too. So I thought it was a good cherry on top. Good way to end it. If you're going to put that on over Hell in a Cell, that's what you had to do.
Yeah, agreed. And I think a lot of ways too, like, it's throwing some more wrenches in the equation, maybe. Like, you know, okay, so now Roman's got Jimmy back. Okay, here we go. Now he's got a little bit of an army starting to form back up to take on the Bloodline, but now The Rock puts this wrench in the equation of whose side is he on? Who is he coming after? Maybe Roman isn't so grounded now, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see both. I don't want to say I'm glad to see The Rock back. I'm glad to see Jimmy back. I think Jimmy coming back was great, and I didn't expect Jimmy to come back actually at Bad Blood. So it was great to see Jimmy. I don't think personally it outshined it. Jimmy had his moment. It's not like they came out the ring at the same time either. Jimmy had his moment, and then The Rock had his moment. You know,
exactly. They both had their moments. Yeah, it's crazy how like in such a short time frame. What's it been? 6 months. We're only halfway to WrestleMania again, pretty much, right? Since the last one ended, and everybody was so mad that Roman was still the champion and Cody hadn't won the year before, and they're so mad at The Rock and outshining Cody and pinning Cody. And then we get a turnaround to now, like the attention span is crazy to what it is now. And then The Rock comes out like he's never been gone, and they're cheering for The Rock, even though when he left, like everybody hated it, you know, and everybody loved Cody and hated Roman. Now everybody loves Roman, and some people are starting to get annoyed with Cody. So it's crazy.
Makes the heart grow fonder.
It's crazy what can happen in a little bit amount of time, short amount of time. So who knows what's next? By the time we even get to Netflix, Raw, and Survivor Series, like I'm ready for it though. I can't wait.
Yeah. And shout out to everybody that asked questions and rides along with us. That was really cool. It's something we like interacting with everybody, but at the same time we tend to like not want to put something like that out there and get no responses. So it's
right.
It's cool to see some interaction and stuff, and we'll have to do more stuff like that in the future because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. That was the WWE Bad Blood review. Yeah. And make sure you check out later this week, we got the interview, Pretty Deadly Jesse. Adam hitting the turnbuckle with the legend Vince Russo. Yeah.
And for everybody that it's your flavor, we do have an AEW review coming later this week too, because of our work schedules and everything else. We've had to kind of put that aside because of Bad Blood coming up, but we do have actually Wrestle Dream coming up this weekend, so we'll have to put our predictions in for that.
Okay, yeah. Book it, bet it, it's gonna happen. Yeah, we got it, baby. Yeah. So thanks everybody for riding along. We appreciate it. Thanks for the questions. I hope everybody enjoyed Bad Blood, and can't wait to see y'all again soon. So leave us some more comments, hit that like button, subscribe, let us know what you thought, and stay tuned for more. That's Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Yeah. You've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.